So I traveled 6.5 hours yesterday to go from Tokyo to where I am now, Shimane. Shimane is the second least populated prefecture in all of Japan, and it shows these streets are empty. But that doesn't take away from the fun I'm going to have in this prefecture, because while it is the second least populated prefecture, it doesn't mean there's not a lot of cool things to do here. And we're going to do some cool things. I'm currently in Matsue, which is about here, but I'm going to have to travel all the way to the other side of Shimane so I can check out Izumo Taisha, which is supposedly the birthplace of Japan. I'm going to be in Shimane for about 48 hours, but enough talk because time flies when you're hanging around. First stop is Izumo Taisha. We better get moving. It is on the other side of Shimane. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's start adventuring, shall we? We got a lot of things to do. It's currently 9:30 a.m. in what is basically Obon, or the Japanese summer vacation. So the fact that the streets are this empty is absolutely insane. Like, you'd expect these things to be packed, like shoulder to shoulder. Even the boat tours aren't that full. Because of big old Lake Shinji, if you want to go from Matsue all the way to the other side of the prefecture, you gotta make a choice. You're either going up and over the lake or down and around. Either way, the trains rarely come, and I think up and around, although is a little bit cheaper, the train station is a lot further away. If you notice, I'm huffing it quite a bit. That's because if I miss this next train at 9:45, I'm gonna have to wait a solid hour until 10:45 to the next one. I don't want to wait, so we moving. so we moving, boys. It's about a 15-minute walk from the hotel I'm staying at, but from Matsue station itself, you're basically moving to the other side of the city. Like, you might as well just go down under. Alright. Ooh, fish and chip shop. Alright, I gotta run. I literally might have to run. I don't want to. I'm wearing grey. Ooh. You might be wondering, Jordan, why are you rushing to a station instead of just renting a car and driving? Well, I can't legally drive here, can I? And you know what? Soon, neither can you. If the new laws Japan wants to make actually come to fruition, a lot of internationals will not be able to get international licenses in Japan anymore. So you two will have to do Japan entirely through public transport, and that's why on this trip, on these 48 hours in Shimane, I will only be doing things via public transport. And if I can, I might try to not even take taxi. I might do it all via buses and trains. Speaking of trains, I can see the station. I got like 5 minutes. I don't even know if this place accepts Passmo. Fuck. Yeah, as expected, the entire train is basically ticket only. So if you get here pretty like giddy to the train leaving, you're not gonna have time to catch it. The train's leaving in like a minute, and I just managed to grab a ticket, grab some coffee, and prepare to board. But generally, my gosh, dude, paper tickets in the countryside, jeez. Anyway, let's jump on. Fucking hell. Now we're ready for a nice little adventure to the area. We've officially arrived, and it's also officially started raining, so I think my plan is to hide at the only Starbucks in the area for about 10 minutes while the rain subsides, and then I'm gonna check out the shrine. The journey was actually pretty straightforward. There was one transfer that was a little bit confusing, but if you ask the guy, he'll literally tell you exactly where to be going, so that was cool. I wanted to film that, but I had literally a minute and a half to make the transfer, so, you know, run had to be done. The route is actually really easy. If you catch the right train, there is no transfer, so, you know, check Google Maps, make sure you catch the right one, just in case you want to have an easier time getting here and you don't have to make like a weird transfer. I think I mentioned before you have to buy tickets. It's actually not as expensive as I thought it would be. 1,800 yen for a return. You do get 2 very tiny paper tickets, so if you're someone who loses things, I would say put them somewhere safe. If you lose your ticket, I doubt they're in the business of giving you an extra free one, so, you know, be careful. Anyway, we've arrived. I'm gonna give this man my ticket. I see him waiting for me, and gotta find a Starbucks, somewhere to hide while it rains. I'll see you guys at the temple. That is a massive torii gate. Check that out. It does appear they are repaving the road, which is great for me because it means I can stand in the middle of the road and talk about torii gates. It is absolutely phenomenally huge, and it is the start to this massive path going towards the shrine. The issue is, this massive path is still an active road, so one can't just walk down the middle of the road taking amazing video content. But I know at the bottom of this long road there is going to be a little Starbucks. I can get a little coffee at while I wait for the rain to subside. Probably can't tell, but it's actually raining right now. There are like a shit ton of cars coming down this road, but Shimane is super interesting. This is a pretty busy location, as I said, a lot of cars passing me by, but like, the streets are empty. There is no one around. If this was in Tokyo, this would be packed, shoulder to shoulder, can't walk in a straight line at normal speed. Maybe I'm speaking too soon, we've not hit the main part of the temple yet, so let's finish walking on this road, get to the Starbucks near the station, or near the temple, and see if it's also a little bit empty down there as well. Hold on, this rain is gonna fuck up my existence. I'll see you up there. I see you up there. There's too much rain. I'll see you up there. Okay, the plan is really simple. It's a really big shrine, but I found something called the Michikusa Guide, which is the Hoshino Resort's original Japan guide. They have a really good guide for Izumo Taisha Shrine, which is the shrine I'm currently at. According to the guide, the first thing we have to do is go through Seidai Mari Torii Gate, which we've just been through. After that, we head to Hare no Yashiro, which is a little shrine that you purify yourself at. I just did that. I threw a little goyen in for some luck. Did the double clap, double bow thing, feeling pretty blessed right now. Next, we're looking for Musubi no Okami. After finding this giant statue, we should head to the worship hall before heading up to the main hall. That seems to be the entirety of the base guide. There's also a few power spots they've got located in here. There's a rock you can apparently touch to feel divine presence. I'm a man who loves a bit of divine presence, so maybe I'll go find that rock. Then we're going to go to Kagura Halls, touch some stone rabbits before finishing, getting a Goshin maybe, a shrine stamp. I don't have a shrine stamp book and I don't collect the Goshin, but they are very beautiful for those who do collect them. Pretty exciting shrine, there's a lot to see and do here, but I'm going to follow this guide as closely as possible and take you along the way. I'm going to run away from here. I'm terrified of spiders and I feel like they're watching me. It's actually that way. The approach to the shrine is very beautiful, but it is just one very long straight walk to it, which honestly makes it easier for me. I'm not going to get lost on the way. There's no weird turns, no hidden locations, but as we go deeper into the shrine, we are heading deeper into the mountain, which means temperature's dropping, which is great for me during Japanese summertime, but it also means the climate is absolutely messed up. So once again, it has started to rain. But you know what? I'm okay with that. It's a beautiful shrine, it's a lovely day, it's not as hot as Tokyo. Oh, and I can just see the main worship hall coming up. Where's the giant samurai statue? Where do I find that? Hold on. Oh, speak of the devil, there he is, right there. That's what I was looking for. This is supposedly the next stop on the guide. I'm going to check out this statue before heading towards the main shrine. Oh, look at him, it's massive. Look at that sword. Hold up, let's get a closer look. In the Kojiki, Mikoto is said to have acquired the knowledge and culture of a god by meeting two spirits, the lucky spirit and the strange spirit. He then became a god himself, known as Musubi no Okami. The statue actually depicts the scene where Mikoto receives the blessings from both the strange and the lucky spirit, which said to have appeared on a very rough wave in the Sea of Japan. Spent enough time adoring the statue. Let me walk towards the main shrine itself. Also, there's a lot of people here now. like a lot. Fuck. As is customary, you gotta bow before entering the shrine, my boys. Also, when entering a shrine, don't walk straight down the middle. Apparently that's meant to be for God only, so don't walk down the middle when entering through a torii gate. Izumo Taisha does things just a little bit differently. While at normal shrines you're doing 2 bows, 2 claps, followed by a bow, Izumo Taisha, you're doing 2 bows, 4 claps, followed by a single bow. It probably has something to do with when the shrine was made. It was built after World War II, so in about 1964. So because of that, it's kind of separated itself from other shrines at the time. Ones made before and also ones made after. I think this is the only shrine that does 2 bows, 4 claps, followed by a single bow. I've never seen another shrine to do this. And it was surprising. I was wondering why people were clapping so much. Like, it really blew my mind. The seemingly innocuous shrine to the left of me is actually pretty dang special. It's called the Jukusha, or God's Inn, and it's only open once a year. This being one of the main temples of Shintoism holds a lot of significance when it comes to the history of the religion, but also a lot of culture and myths around it are greatly interlinked to this shrine. There are 19 rooms in this shrine, but the doors are only open during the Kamiari festival, so about once a year. So if you want to come and check out this shrine with all the doors wide open, when all the gods are staying here during their holidays, you gotta come during the dates above for the Kamiari. The amount of people just walking past this shrine, it makes me think that maybe a lot of people don't know the importance of this shrine to Shintoism. And I find that very intriguing, because when it comes down to it, I didn't understand the importance of the shrine until I literally googled it. Oops. I think one thing I love about this shrine is that there are so many different little QR codes dotted around the shrine where you can actually scan the QR codes and read about the different shrines in the temple in English. So thankful for the amount of QR codes dotted around this shrine explaining things in English. Yeah, you know, I speak Japanese, I read Japanese. Ancient old Japanese that appears at shrines are very difficult to read, and I don't understand enough religious Japanese to make heads or tails of some of the stuff that I'm reading. So having it in English dotted around the shrine is honestly just an absolute lifesaver. And for someone who's interested in the history as well, it's just so useful. Ooh, I think that's the power spot. Or you can tell it's suddenly a lot cooler as well. A lot of ancient soil to be collected if you want it, which is pretty cool. It seems you collect the soil at one end, you walk around the temple, and then you dump it out at the other. I have no idea why, but I'm gonna need editing Jordan to look this up. Luck. It's normally luck. This stuff is normally luck or tradition or some kind of thing of cleansing yourself with spirits, but editing and or hotel room Jordan or later on the shrine Jordan, it's gonna have to look that up because I don't know what that was about. It's interesting though. A lot of clay happening. That's cool. If you successfully traverse the entirety of the shrine, you find yourself at the main shrine hall. It's massive. It's one of the biggest shrines I've ever seen in my entire life. Holy fucking shit, it's huge. I don't think videos do this place justice. It's currently 1:30 p.m. I got here at about 11:30. Took half an hour coffee break in Starbucks. Let's say I started exploring at about 12ish. It's been about an hour and a half and I'm finally at what is basically the end of the shrine. And I think there's even like a little more small sections and a little more like tiny shrines you can check out as well. This is a day trip. This alone is a day trip. Holy shit. I'm gonna grab an omikuji and then maybe find some traditional Shimane lunch. How about I get daikichi? Let's go tie this up and then get some lunch. Perfect. Beautiful. Nicely done. Alright, we're officially done. I'm so hungry. What's Shimane famous for, food-wise? Whatever Shimane is famous for food-wise, I need to get a nice heaping serving of that. In Shimane Prefecture, one culinary gem stands out above the rest, and that is Izumo soba. Known as one of Japan's 3 great soba varieties, Izumo soba is made by milling buckwheat with its husk, resulting in a fragrant, rich and chewy noodle. Served in traditional styles like layered warigo or warm kameage, this noodle is a taste of Shimane's heritage. I also paired it with a cold anko dessert, anko being a red bean. Anko itself isn't specifically celebrated in Shimane, but Shimane is known for its wagashi or traditional Japanese confectionaries, and if I have a chance to eat some cold red bean soup, I'm gonna eat it. Plus it had mochi, and I love mochi. I had the most fantastic lunch of soba, little red bean soup, cold, limited edition, was pretty damn good, but we're done here. I've conquered the shrine, I had some soba, the red bean was delicious. It's time to go back to Matsue. The problem is my train isn't for another hour, and the trains only come once an hour. Either way, I need to get back to Matsue because I want to check out the castle before it closes at 6 PM. So I need to be out of here by 3:20. I'm going to spend this hour wisely. Might grab some matcha, take some B-roll. You know, I have plans of things I want to do. The question is, will I miss my train? I'll see you guys in Matsue. Cut to the B-roll. This is like one of those good news, bad news situations. The good news, we're safely back in Matsue. It was an easy train ride home, drank a delicious matcha, made some new friends. The bad news, it's pissing it down. And since we're here for 48 hours, I still have a whole other day to check out the castle. So I'm gonna chill, get back to my hotel, dip myself into an onsen to erase some of this fatigue, find some dinner, consume the dinner, and see you guys tomorrow. Oh my god, yes. It's still raining. I thought Japan had 4 distinct seasons. Turns out, the old people that told me this were fucking liars because it's meant to be Obon, Japanese summer vacation, and it is raining. And I mean like, not just a little bit of rain, it is 100% storm weather, heavy rain for the next 4 hours type raining. But that's not going to dampen my day. I need to check out the castle, and I need to check out Adachi Gardens. What am I sitting around under a giant umbrella for? Let's go. While the rain was terrible, and unbeknownst to me there was a typhoon slowly making its way over, I started my adventures in Kokaku, the Western style building on the grounds of Matsue Castle. Built in 1903, this Western style building isn't part of the castle but is on the castle grounds. It was initially intended as a residence for the emperor, but later hosted the crown prince in 1907. Today, Konkaku offers amazing views of the city, displays historical exhibitions on the first floor, and retains its original furnishing and elegant second floor design. It's a prime example of Meiji period architecture. The building today basically depicts how the building's been used throughout time. as like an introductory center for the town. It was a tea house at one point, and it still kind of keeps some of that history alive in the building, not only through like the art that's shown in the building, the historical pieces in the building, but there's also a cafe on the first floor of the building. Super impressive. I think if I have some time, I might try to pop down into that cafe, grab myself a little coffee. However, the weather being what the weather is today, I feel like that cafe is going to be the most popular place in Matsue Castle today. But I'll give it a try. It appears that this rain isn't going to stop for the entire day, so I'm just going to have to brave it, which is, you know, that's fine with me. I'm English, we're used to the rain, but if there's a chance for a quick respite, I'm going to take it. Especially in such a stylish little cafe. If you guys end up coming to Matsue and you end up in the old building, go to the cafe, get the blend coffee, tell them the guy with the afro sent you. You won't get a discount. Just, it'll be funny if you tell them I sent you. I'm gonna drive up here a little bit, then I'm gonna make my way to the main castle. Yeah, the rain's pretty scary right now. I'm gonna drive a bit. While I was in there having coffee, they came around with an announcement and basically just said, because the rain is so fucked, we're closing at like 11:30 today. I'm not sure if that's for the entirety of Shimane or this building alone, but I think we're gonna have to hustle, try and see the castle before everything's underwater, I guess. I upgraded my umbrella because the old one just wasn't doing the trick. This sadly is one of the harsh realities of living in Japan. Sometimes typhoons happen and you're stuck in a typhoon. So because of this massive typhoon, I think the castle, the cafe and all connected buildings have basically been shut from 11 o'clock onwards. It's basically 11 o'clock now, so those buildings are closed. I got a little peek at the castle, which is good. Matsue Castle is one of the 12 original castles, so like I really did want to go check it out for myself. Even if I couldn't go inside and take a long gander for myself. But anyway, typhoon's coming in. I'm gonna get out of here. I'll work out how I'll check back to you in a minute. I'm gonna run. Bye. So the typhoon hit, and it turns out it's all Totori's fault. There was a record-breaking drought in Totori, and they decided to pray to the gods. Yes, I'm very serious. They prayed to the gods for rain, and lo and behold, rain did indeed come to the region. However, it hit Shimane in the worst way. The rain was super bad. Trains stopped. There was flooding. Matsue Station was basically an island for like the entire weekend. So I decided, since it was a typhoon and there were periods of rain and periods of dry, in the dry I explored the city, found a nice little baked goods festival, and while it was raining I edited in my hotel room, grabbed a sashimi dinner since Shimane is also famous for their fish, and prepared for my revenge on what is now going to be the Revenge of the Castle, Day 3. That was insane. It is now day 3 in Shimane, and I thought yesterday on day 2 I could fight against the weather. It was raining, the rain was a little bit strong, but I thought it's gonna be perfectly okay. Hit the castle, check out the gardens, grab some snacks on the way, call it a day. The weather had other plans. This wasn't a little bit of rain, this was a torrential downfall. This was a biblical flood. Trains were cancelled. Roads were flooded. I was drenched. And now we're back, day 3, what I'm calling replacement day 2. We're gonna finish off the things that I wanted to do yesterday, today. And of course, I'm gonna take you guys with me. Let's drink some terrible hotel coffee and continue this adventure. I actually have the coffee ready. It's really bad. Like undrinkably bad. What if there's a Starbucks here? Let's get a Starbucks, dude. What the fuck? The streets of Shimane always seem really, really empty. It is the second least populated prefecture, so that does make sense, but my gosh, these streets always seem empty. It is like 10 o'clock right now, and there's no one on these streets. And I'm not in like a random part of town, I'm near the main station. Matsue Station is right there behind me. This makes no sense. Where are the people? What is going on? Everyone is crazy about getting to the main castle, and rightfully so. It's like one of the original build castles, there's only 12 left in the country. It makes sense to make a beeline for the biggest, tallest thing in the grounds. However, in doing so, you're going to miss out on some smaller, more interesting locations on the grounds. Like I was saying before, this is one of the century houses, one of the turret buildings, a building that, right now, no one is in. There's actually two of them. There's one here and one across the ways. They're empty. No one's here. Because no one knows they exist. Everyone's making a beeline straight for the castle and then going to the tea room next door. That's it. These stairs are as steep as the castle stairs. Oh, surely. There we go. The views from the Century Tower are that of what you would see if you were a guard back in the 1600s, I assume. It's mostly the moat, roads coming towards the castle, and then of course, the grounds themselves. It is extremely warm in here. I am going to leave before I pass out. The dangers of these floors are, this is head height. A little sign here saying, be careful above. Check this out. This is me standing, getting ready to walk down the stairs. I'm currently on the first step. I'm still very much having to duck very far down in order to get down these stairs. I'm basically crouching. Insanity. Castle stairs are the scariest things known to man. There is nothing steeper. Like, look, what are we? Oh, even my gimbal's like, whoa, limit reach there, buddy. Relax. Good building. Very well done. I enjoy the fact that no one's here and I can take my time messing around and videoing stuff. Very nice. I need some water. And then we gotta head to the main castle. Let's walk the castle grounds a little bit more, and then head to the main castle, shall we? It's starting to rain again. Finally made it on a day that isn't pouring it down torrentially. Check that out. Matsue Castle. My gosh. If you're anywhere in this area of Japan, you have a couple hours, it's definitely worth checking out the castle. Mostly because it's one of the 12 original castles that are left in Japan, which means the main steep of the castle, the main building itself, is as it was when it was originally built back in like the 1600s or something like that. Absolute insanity. All the original castles have very interesting vibes. Obviously, these were built in like the 1600s, so the ceilings are lower, the doorways are lower, it's harder to get around the castle, but it does make sense. If this is a castle, a place you're meant to be protecting, you want it to be an easy place for enemies to like jump in and basically, take over your hard work. Even these walls are crazy. So the mist surrounding the castle before wasn't actually cloud cover. It's being shot up from these weird little nozzles that are at every layer of the castle. Gives it a very cool walking on cloud effects, very Laputa castle in the sky. But it's not actual clouds. I think it's just water vapor. Actually, I'm gonna move. I feel like they're gonna go off right now that I'm standing close to them. Let's go inside the castle. Matsue Castle, or nicknamed Chidorijo or Plover Castle, has watched over Shimane for more than 4 centuries. Built between 1607 and 1611 by the feudal lord Horio Yoshiharu, it remains one of the 12 original wooden castles in Japan, and it's the only one in the Sanin region to survive since the Edo period. Matsue Castle's original keep has stood the test of time, unlike many other castles who've had to have theirs rebuilt out of concrete. While the castle grounds are pretty extensive, the castle itself is stooped in mystery. You start on the basement floor, which is basically pitch black. This is actually how dark inside of the castle is. What the actual fuck. Certain areas are lit up, but generally, it's dark as fuck. Very moody. Thank God for the spotlights illuminating the different structures and historical pieces. You also have a great view of the castle walls themselves. Like many castles, the stairways are really steep, but there are also hidden storage rooms, guns and arrow slits designed for defense, and a very deep well lies within the castle. On the basement floor, of course. I'm up on, I believe, the 3rd floor, and the first thing you notice here is that there's a bunch of photos. It was brighter for one thing. There's also a bunch of photos of like different castles around Japan with different rankings. So I think some are like super culturally important, some are just like remade castles, but some have the ranking of kokuho, or like national treasure. And surprise, surprise, who has the rank of national treasure? Fucking Matsue Castle. Look at my boy, national treasure. Damn. At the top of the castle, there is a 360-degree view of the mountains, the lakes, and the castle town itself. No modern building is allowed to rise above the castle keep, preserving its commanding presence in the skyline. It makes it great for approaching the castle as well. Since no building is bigger than the castle, you do get an amazing view of the castle, no matter which angle you decide to go up to the castle. Apparently in the spring, the castle becomes an amazing destination for hanami, or flower viewing, and it's ranked among the top 100 cherry blossom viewing spots in Japan. And its grounds are normally filled with locals and travelers enjoying the festivities. Sadly, I'm here during the rainy season, so I missed all the cherry blossom festivities. From its soaring black walls and its seasonal beauty, Matsue Castle isn't just a historical landmark, it is the beating heart of this city. And a place you can go and visit if you want to capture a little spark of old Japan. It's raining. Not only is it raining, flood warnings are still active, local trains are not running. What I wanted to also do on this trip was check out the Adachi Garden Museum. It's about one stop away on the Super Express train, about 20 minutes away on the local train. Local train isn't running anymore. Like, it's not running until like 4 p.m. Apparently the floods and like rain yesterday was way worse than I thought it was. Even this morning I thought it was bad, but I thought everything would be running again. Turns out nothing's running yet, so here we are. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to end it there, boys. It was a great 3 days, I guess, in Shimane. Even with the crazy rainstorm, honestly, a very well done prefecture. I'm gonna have to come back again. The rainstorm really ruined most of my plans. Well, a small chunk of my plans, but still things I wanted to do. So guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you. I'm gonna see you in the next vlog. Should have been Totori, but you know, the trains in Totori also stopped running, so it kind of fucked. But anyway guys, I'll see you in the next one. Probably back in Tokyo. Alright, I'm gonna grab some lunch. Bye.